Hello everybody, welcome to Wise Exotics. Joining me today is Minnie. So if you hear any cat squeaks or chirps, it's because Minnie's in here with me. Minnie. Yep. She's a very lovely, affectionate cat. She's actually a rescue too. Um, 2 years ago, found her almost skeletal in the backyard and basically nursed her to health, loved her, and she's a love bug. Anywho, going on to the plants. Plants are doing well, no negatives or any issues going on that I have found. The macrophylla is still growing, which I've dubbed a phoenix because that thing has come back from so much craziness hitting it. It deserves a cool name, in my opinion. So that being said, I did get two plants from a friend of mine after I sold him some plants, so that was quite funny. This is from my friend Black Thumb Plants. Shout out to him. He's over on Instagram. One of the plants he gave me was this N. Samadera. He had two of them in his collection, and he said, "Well, I just noticed how big this is going to get. Would you like one? I need to rehome this one." And I said, "Sure, that would be awesome." So he sent me that along with some Pokemon paraphernalia, as I'm a Pokemon fan. Also, he sent me this fossil in one of the Pokeballs. It's a joke toward the Helix, which is a Ammonite shell. Anyway, so I stuck it in the plant because I thought it looked really cool in with it, and it just works with it, honestly. The other plant he sent me is right here, which is Spatulata ex adnata. Very dark. He showed me another one he had, but it was a lot darker. This is one of the nice ones he sent me, so it was really awesome of him. It's growing quite well. It's already popped a picture. Two of them, in fact. They were closed when I got them. And Samudira has two pictures when I got it, but it's already producing one there, and it's got a growth tendril. In terms of plants that are already growing, so Sibilinensis is finally getting a picture. This thing is glacier slow. Honestly, I thought Macrophylla and Loa were bad. No, Sibilinensis. That's the slow one. Down here we have the male Adriani, which as you know, I was really excited for. It's already had thrown a little picture on its basil, but now the main plant growth point is throwing a nice large one, so it's growing pretty quickly. I wasn't expecting that, honestly. Yeah, Minnie? Minnie wasn't expecting it either. Let's see, we got Spectabulus X Bong, so had a nice striped picture. That one hadn't been happy in a while since I got it last year. It took a while to acclimate, but now it's throwing traps and quite happy. As you can see, all of these are doing well. And for those of you who also always ask me, Cephalotus is right here. It's still alive. I moved it over here because it was getting too much water in the main area. So this area tends to dry a little bit better. Now, if you have been on my channel, you know I have the Globosa, whatever, Viking X Rafflesiana siblings. One of them produced this absolutely beautiful specimen of a trap. Look at that. That's some candy strap. It's almost metallic. Let's see if I can get in here a little closer. Look at that beautiful ribbing, spikes, fangs, the whole lot. It's just got a beautiful peristome. Its sibling is actually one down here that Minnie is trying to assist me with. My Himalaysiana X Ampulara Black Miracle, or Viking. Actually, this is Viking X Himalaysiana. Yes, that is so. It's over there on that tag. Was producing one over here. Brixiana doing really well. Clipiata or Loei Vicii X Clipiata has a big leaf. The other Brixiana, which is the Peter D'Amatos right here. The two Diotis are over here. I don't know why people don't have Diotis. It's quite an interesting species. It's super toothy. Its fang Nepenthes kind of like Hamada, but red, little squat with like a yellow gradient near the teeth. It's quite cute. They're readily available and fairly cheap. They're like $20. I have two of them. If anybody wants one, let me know. But they basil quite frequently, and they're just a nice little plant. I think they're really underappreciated in my opinion. Let's see. So down here we get Clipiata x Bongso doing some fine things. Glendiflora x Edwardsiana has a big picture. It's trying. As I said, there's just a lot of little pictures. There's the sibling to Viking X Rafflesiana, which is above. This is the plant number 2. So that's plant 2. This is plant 1. Plant 1 actually did not show stripes initially, but man, oh man, has this new picture really changed my mind about it. I'm very impressed. Let's see, going over this way. Super variegated plant that's all red is cherry bomb, throwing pictures everywhere. It's quite happy out here. No, it is not sunburnt. It just has red variegation, as you can see from the pigmentation. It's sibling over there, also doing good, has a picture hiding in the back. Now, actually, I'm happy to say, look at that. Cingulata ex Diabolica just popped. That was one that I treated for root rot, I'd like to say 2 years ago. Doing quite well. The Palinensis, I did trim the basil off and sell that to Black Thumb, so he actually has the basil my seed-grown one. And right after I did it, look at that leaf jump it got. It is quite happy with that basil off now. Oh, Cherry Bomb Sibling. There is the picture of Cherry Bomb Sibling. I'm kind of calling like chocolate mint and stuff in my head, so I don't know. I'll come up with a name for it eventually. This is one that Windowsill Remy has its sibling. This is Clipiata Ima ex Loevici. Very pretty. The picture starts out pink and it goes to a red. Very interesting, and I don't know what that sound was above my head. You can see way in the back there is my, it's like super dark. If I can fight my way in here. Again, dark shape in there is actually the picture from Raja Ima, which has been doing well. It's just slow to produce pictures and traps. Diabolica ex Minima has a little picture hiding down there. Clipiata 1, which has variegated stripes in it, doing really well. Clipiata 2, just unfurling its first leaf with me, so that's good. The Minima ex Candy Dreams had explosive leaf jumps, so I'm looking forward to seeing their traps. Doing quite well. As I said, Peltata's here, doing fine. If anybody's wondering why this Peltata has holes in it, Mittens, who's my sister's cat, decided he wished to be a train conductor, so he said, "Tickets, please," and put a nice bite through it. I was not happy with that, so he no longer gets to help me in here when he's over. Now, that being said, you can also see my Raja X Cantley there. Over here, as we'll go around to the electrical side. So this is Golden Odyssey, or BE4021, seed-grown Barrio. A nice stripe one. It's a golden Barrio, so as they age, the picture peristome goes to almost like a mustardy yellow, then to a golden bronze, but the stripe still remains, so it's highly impressive. The two VGIBs here, I'm really excited to see this. This is a nice new picture. I'm hoping that the moss will help it develop a little better. So it's staying with 4021 right now. The other VGIB is a picture hiding next to Golden Odyssey, which is kind of interesting. K1XM2 is right there. VGIK. Now I have to wrap around the other way. Me and Mike were really impressed with how the VGIK developed. When I first got it, as you saw on a prior video, it was a yellow, slightly flared peristome. Now it's getting this pink body with very intense stripes and kind of a stout picture. Very reminiscent of VGIK, so I'm really excited to see how that develops. All the VGI are doing quite well and are picturing and or going. Now, if anybody has wondered, this is what my Valiant Beast looks like right now from Predatory Plants. Quite impressive. And Lovely Serpent is right here. Doing quite well, so I still have them. And the Josh siblings, which I'm calling J1 and J2, and then the other hybrid I got from Josh I call J3. So I'm officially giving them little names to remember where I get them from. The ones I get from such as Nepenthes, I have two of those. These two siblings right here, very impressive striping on that one. I did do an experiment where I fed a drop of rice water, which is where you're mixing water in with rice to clean it. Supposedly that's a good fertilizer, so I was trying this as an experiment. I put a drop in this picture, which is Minima X Candy Dreams, and I didn't do it in its sibling right here, but they both had jumps, so I just think that's doing well. So I put one in this one, which is Such of Nepenthes, or S1, and then its sibling, which is right here, S2. I did not put a picture in. Both of these are very striped. This one already got like a purple bluish bronzing going on the rim, where its sibling is not yet, but it's still impressively striped. Those are going to be amazing. He's over on Instagram, but he does sell on eBay. But the Instagram account is such of Nepenthes. Here you go. You can see the newer picture on Loei Vici Clipieta, or it's Clipieta Loei Vici. I'd have to find the tag. Here's the tag. Vici Loei X Clipieta. So, to be precise. Now, as I said, I remember I had pointed this out earlier. My car 066 had thrown a picture. So this is its second picture in 2 years. So it's starting to come back. Very glendiflora-ish. I know there is glendiflora, but it's not solely glendiflora. Also, well, you can see Minnie's grandma out there. This is my Queen Melanie, which is one of my largest and oldest Nepenthes. Finally getting a picture again. She typically likes to hunt hornets. Now, I did move my red Ventricosa back over here because it seemed happier in this spot throwing pictures. Now that being said, let's go over to this side and we can check out the plants. Ignore my chaoticness. This is the purple mangosteen. Did push 2 leaves out in winter. Very, very slow to grow plant. The begonias are doing well. African violet, still around. The other Nepenthes are doing quite well. I know some people have vivid machines, and I've had some people ask on this. So mine actually has stripes and has these cute little stealth pictures. They start out very red when you get them, so I was hopeful it would stay red. Did not. It has a larger picture hiding over here, so it makes very long, very fuzzy. Like you feel this is like petting a fuzzy caterpillar kind of feeling. Almost felt like petting a leather glove or something. It has a light fuzz to it, but it's very intense. Makes these long tendrilled leaves that come out and then drops the pictures down. Doing right well. Gaminophora X tennis. I'm trying to think what else is here. Diabolica X Aristo, Aristo X Hamada, Aristo X Bellii. The 2 of them are right there. And then this is my Ventrata. No, behind it is the Ventrata seed crown. Has more yellow pictures. I don't know why, but it's actually trying to grow away from the light. It's doing its own thing again. They're kind of crazy, and I'm trying to keep them from going into the fan that I turn on in the summer. So I might need to trim that one soon. It does have a basil, so I might just hack up the plant and go from there. That being said, let's check out the tank, everyone. So, as I said, nothing really crazily going on. This is J3 is what I'm calling this one, because his name is long and it's complicated and I can't remember things very well. So it's just easier for me to recall them as, lettered and numbered specimens. If they get really interesting, maybe I'll give them a cool name as time goes on. This is one I shared to Carnivero. This is Car 0239. Really complex hybrid. It's upside down. Roko X Bosch X Sumatra X Loei X Vici. A very impressive specimen. I've had it for a while. It's very slow to grow, but it has stripes, nice kind of burgundy brown pictures. It's got a larger one developing here. Pudica. I'm getting the P Nepenthes mixed up. Pudica's doing quite well. I might have to rotate my Alba Marginata here around, but it threw it a much larger trap, and now it's got another one developing underneath here. I did get this cool birthday card from my uncle. He actually drew this based on my bicolatera, which my aunt, that's his wife, absolutely loves my bicolatera. She thinks that's the coolest in Nepenthes. So I sent her a picture of that, and he drew that from looking at the picture, which was really cool of him. Anywho, let's see. Oh, the unknown species finally popped a thing. I had a lot of people give me, it could be a Lingulata Mongsonaga kind of cross. I can kind of see that as I do have the Lingulata. The leaves are similar, but then it's getting these texture in the leaves which are not reminiscent, but are similar to Bongso. So far, the consensus on unknown, which I'm calling DEW, D-E-W, is it's some form of Sumatran plant or hybrid. A couple of these were shipped out and got mixed up, so again, don't know what it is, just calling it Dew for now. My Raja from Nepenthes God as you can see, is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Look at the pictures on this compared to the Borneo exotics. I'm not trying to pick on the Borneo exotics one. Rajas are awesome, but comparing the two's growth rate, this thing grows at least 2 times faster than that one, and it throws at least twice the size of pitchers. As you can see, one of the pitchers are here, and then compare it to these little stout ones. This one's quite red, actually, but this one also is basiling a lot. So, to what I understand of this one, I was doing some reading. They can typically be female. So my hope is this one will be a male, and this one will be a female, and I can do my own horticultural cross and provide those to everybody. Northiana, I'm doing Northiana things. I had a nice stout picture that finally caught up to my other Northiana. This is the BE Northiana 3357. This is the red clone 1. Now, the seed-grown one, doing quite well. If I can get in there. Sometimes it's hard to fight the plants and not get close. You can see nice stripes, big leaves. This one does not like to hold as much leaves as the Borneo exotics, but it's starting to stabilize, I think. But it's definitely throwing out big pitchers. Sericea, not Sumadera. Sericea is right here doing quite well. That is not a Sericea pitcher. That is the variegated plant here's pitcher. This is one I got from Mike. You can see a nice green stripes on that, so I'm really excited. Sumadera's pitchers so far are green with, like you can see one there, a little bit of a brown purpling. Their pitchers typically are purple, so that's a nice thing to know. The hybrids that are over here are doing well, even though my Alba Mariganata wants to make friends with it. It does not get to make friends with it. Yeah, no friends with it, Polo. Let's see. We'll go over to the more sensitive side in a bit. The Bongsos are all doing well. I actually organized them. I know some people found my disorganization of the numbered ones crazy. So 3, 2, and 1 in order now. So there is a picture off to the side. Let's put that back in there. Number 1 decided to go AWOL. Actually, number 1 has a pretty big picture jump compared to its siblings. 3 is the darkest for sure, and 2 is the slowest, but it's also getting nice and dark. So we'll see how that goes. But 1 already has a basil on it. Let's see, Leonardo doing quite well, as you can see. It's thrown a bunch of new leaves, some pitchers, quite well. Bicollateral, I did trim off the one that was over here because it was starting to mold and that was worrying me. And it already popped this even more impressive fang one down here, if I can pull it up without stabbing myself, because these fangs are sharp. Nice and orange. It's almost like an orange strawberry when it starts, very bright pink, and then it darkens to a nice deep red with a little hint of orange. It's got both coloration pigmentation of its parents, which are orange and red, or bromide red blush, to what I understand. Anywho, going down the road, we got the Macrophylla BCP clone has already thrown its first pitcher with me, and it has another one. So this one's pretty quick. I'm actually kind of impressed with that one. My Macrophylla, which is the one I'm dubbing Phoenix, still alive, not dead, and it's thrown out a pitcher, so yay! Phoenix is kicking it still. Go Phoenix. Clone T. Yes, I have 3 Macrophylla now. I must be crazy, because these plants get big when they're adults, big and bushy. Hopefully I'm able to handle them all. Anyway, Macrophylla Clone T. Doing quite well, as you can see. It's got nice pictures. This is a red form of Macrophylla, so the pictures become almost like a dark scarlet red. Not as dark as, say, a Hamada, but pretty red. I'd like to say somewhere around this coloration or that. Now, I had someone ask if my Edwardsiana was dead. Very confusing. I had literally posted a video of it being healthy, but yeah, it's still alive. Right here, biggest picture yet. Crazy scarlet. Let's see, Diabolica has 3+ pictures on it right now. I'm actually really impressed how active this is. In the winter, it was really happy. And it's got a 4th one coming in on the back. Yeah, so I'm gonna have like 4 to 5 pictures. It's gonna be like my Hamadas here. As you can see, I did shift the tank around, trying to keep all the Hamadas next to each other because I thought that was a little easier for my own sanity, and I was doing experiments. Anywho, Velosa Hamada, very pretty picture down there. I really love Velosa Hamada because it gives you kind of the same darkness as Diabolica with the toothiness and squatness of Velosa. But my only complaint on it is when you try to take a picture of this thing, and I've said this before, the second it pops, those teeth are neon yellow with this dark kind of reddish body, which is really cool. But that yellow burns away to almost like the same color as a Hamada, more like that one's coloration within a matter of hours. So you have to be very quick to catch it. Let's see my Nebularum. I stuck some more moss in it, or the moss has gone crazy. I'm not sure. I can't remember. Robert Cantley eyes are both doing quite well. We've got a nice large picture developing, hiding around the back corner of number 2. So number 1, which is my original one, the tinier one, ironically, grows a lot slower, but it just had a nice picture and leaf jump, so it's doing well. Edinburgh, nice big leaf jumps. I'm actually very impressed with this one. I had heard so many stories that this is super sensitive, and it is just kicking those out of the water. So did my eddies, and my macros. I've heard a lot of horror stories about growing a lot of these plants, and I know my conditions are weird and weirdly applicable to highland, but even then I've heard nightmare stories, so there is that. Velosa actually had a nice pitcher jump, so it might get to the stage where it starts growing a little rapidly, and I'm hoping to see that. My Hamadas, all 3 of them are doing well. AWs 1 and 4. 4 is a male. My Diabolica is also a 4, but it's the female Diabolica. And then the Tambusisi Hamada. Really interesting to just compare them all right next to each other. So they're all a little different. The AW1 is a little more stout and toothy. Flare actually doesn't always flare perfectly near the top when it first opens, so it takes a while. The Tambusisi is a lot squatter. Really reminds me of the Velosa Hamada, but it gets those more reddish leaves now. Let's see, the AW4, kind of narrow teardrop shape up to the top, dark pitcher and little squat. So I think they're just going to be squat as they start when they're younger and then go more stout like the AW1 did. Let's see, Lemon Cherry. Awesome picture down there, really awesome. Picture book, or the picture book, picture plant guide from Remy. I'll move that out of the way. The 3 Veitchii that are in here are doing quite well. A lot of leaf jumps on them, honestly. Greenwoods is doing well, and Merliana's doing fine. I have not seen any sundews coming out of that yet, but they're really tiny if they are, so I'm just keeping my eye on it, keeping it moist. Trying to get it too bright, because I read that it's not, they don't like it super bright when they're developing. Anywho, so overview of the tank, no problems. Macro still kicking it. If you missed my little thing on what happened to the macro, prior it was doing well, then the slug attacked it, then after the slug attacked it, it got root rot, probably from the slug attacking it, so I had to trim these stem and roots off, so it's basically starting without roots right now, so I'm attempting to root it, but as you can see, still healthy green tissue in there. It already threw out a new leaf and pitcher, so my hope is it'll continue, and I have 2 other macros too, but this one is seed grown. These are 2 clones. This is the BCP clone. It was the cheapest of the lot, and that's why I got it. I'm not gonna honestly lie. It was $50 cheaper than its siblings clones, so I went with that one. And I mean, I have relative success growing some of these, so that's why I grabbed it. Anywho, my hope is between 3 macros, maybe I'll be able to do horticultural macro seeds and whatnot. I mean, of the Hamadas, I at least have 1 male. Now, if you're looking for a female Hamada, Hamada number 2 of AW is a female. I actually had that one. That is, in my opinion, one of the hardest of the Hamadas to grow, because that one got root rot and I was not able to save it, unlike my AW1, which I did save. Yeah, so keep that in mind. The Diabolica are also very sensitive. 4 is confirmed to be female. I've seen that the 14 is very prolific. I would love to get a seed-grown one just to compare to this one. I had the BE one originally, and that thing was a nightmare. You sneeze on it, it died. That's how sensitive that is. And that's, in my opinion, the reason or a lot of people are afraid to grow the Diabolica strain, or species is because the BE one is such a well known to be a problem, and I really wish Rob would retire that and get a different one going, because they have a variety of clones. I don't know why the BE one is so sensitive or so whatever, but they only have limited, capacity to have what genetics they have. I know that, but in comparison, the AW line has been easier to grow. I know I had a lot of compliments on how well this one is looking. Typically, when I initially grew it, I had this. It has black speckles it'll get in the leaves, and these leaves will look kind of stringy or malformed. That's typical of AW4 Hamada or Diabolica at the younger stages. It's just how sensitive they are, and they don't always form right. Mine's been forming perfectly fine since I got it, and initially, as I said, had those weird growths, and it really worried me, but once it's stabilized, it's been doing quite well at this size. I actually saw one recently go on eBay for like $800, and I want you to know I did not pay that to get this Diabolica. I actually got this one from Cross Exotics. Same person I got my original Raja Peltata from, so I've only bought 2 plants from him, but he's always been a nice person to buy from. He's well informed and whatnot. Anyway, rambling on, plants are doing good. I'm really excited to see all the pictures developing. There's quite a few that are just doing their own thing.